Hey, before the message this morning, we have a commercial. This is not a paid endorsement, okay? But we're excited because in just a little less than a month, we're taking a group of men and women to Montrose Bible Conference for a couples retreat. And several went last year, and we've asked for some of the people who went last year if you would just come up front. If you're one that's going to talk this morning briefly, would you please come up and bring your spouse with you? They don't have to talk, but Kelly, you might as well come up too. Just stand next to me. You and I were there. Bring your spouse. I just said, bring your spouse. You got to lead by example. Thank you. I spent the weekend with you. You can give me 10 minutes. That was horrible. You have a rebuttal? Okay. See, I offered her the microphone. I didn't do that last time. All right. These two couples and another couple, the Furmans, are you not coming? You don't have to talk. You don't have to talk if you don't want to talk. But these four couples and one other couple not from our church went to Montrose Bible Conference for the couples retreat, and everybody who went immediately before we left signed up for this year. That's how much everybody enjoyed it. So don't listen to me. Listen to these people tell you why they went and why they're going back.
I'm pretty much going back to see if we're still going to be the youngest group going. No, I'm just kidding. It's actually them. But what I can say is, despite realizing that there's a significant difference between bottled Pepsi and fountain Pepsi, yeah, so that's a inside joke. But what I can say is that despite the variety of individuals that go, if you are trying to find and seek wisdom from a vast group of people, that is definitely something that you will receive, because I definitely showed up and I was like, what am I doing here? But by the time I left, just like Dr. Ashley said, I was already giving them my money for the room for the following year. And it's really cool. It's really neat to see wise couples that have survived years of marriage. No, I was actually talking about the Furmans. But no. All jokes aside, it was really cool to see people bless and pour into young married couples and sit there and go, look, the outside world's evil. This is how you're able to get through it with temptations and trials and tribulations. And they poured into us, and I can say for the cruises as well, because they made friends with the worship team. So if y'all want to talk about that, that'd be great.
So there was this couple who led worship last year, and we just really hit it off with them. They were great. But that was just one of the couples that we met and hit it off with at the conference. But I was thinking this morning of what to say, and I'm going through my mental tabs, and I wanted to land on fellowship with other, obviously, followers, but the people in our own church family and congregation too. So we never necessarily hung out with the Furmans, for example, but we found out that Gary is hilarious, so funny, crying, so funny. So what was cool was that each night, after dinner, after the worship and kind of sermon session, we all kind of changed into our pajamas and we went down to this game room and we all did different board games together. And it sounds cheesy and cliche, I guess, but it was a really, really good time. There was a lot of laughs, a lot of growth together. And I think that was one thing that kind of kicked off our relationship with other couples like the Furmans and the Ashleys and the Haneys who were there. It was just kind of a good way to relax and just kind of take the edge off and spend time with each other and get to learn about each other. So, and like David said, it's really cool for us to be on kind of the younger end of the spectrum, to be able to see marriage can still work. You can still have a healthy, fun marriage. You can do this with other couples. It doesn't always have to look one way or the other that we might have had other experiences with in our own families and all that. So I like it. It's fun. It's worth the weekend away.
Good.
I can talk.
She. Prove it.
So we've been talking a lot about like spending time with others in community. What? Into the mic?
Yeah.
Can you not? So we've been talking about like community and spending time with each other and getting to know other couples, which is so cool also. But like for those of you who have kids and like we're just always with our kids and never really get to spend that time, having that time with my husband for a whole weekend where like we sat in a bedroom and we're like, what do we talk about? To by the end of the weekend, like, wow, I actually know you again. Like this is really nice. Like we are connecting right now. So that was really cool too. So yeah, we're going again.
Yeah, it was. It's nice to be able to like just step back and just spend the time with your spouse and like Nikki said, just get to know them. Again, life happens, so kind of gets murky on your spouse. You kind of lose, who you met initially. But it's nice to be able to reconnect and like David was saying, connect with other people as well. It's cool seeing the other life walks, that are there, and be able to like pick and choose what works for one couple and what works for another couple, and see how you can integrate that into your own marriage. So it's cool.
Thank you all. Thank you all very much. And the dates for the retreat are in the bulletin. It's February 10, 11, and 12. And there are scholarship monies available.